Hey, it's John McBride. I'm sitting in the control room of Studio A at Blackbird Studio in Nashville, Tennessee, with my good friend Matt Swanson, who is a guitar collector, big time, and called me and said, I've got a really, really, really rare guitar. Can I stop by? And I said, you have to, please. Tell me what we're looking at, Matt, and thanks for being here. Thanks for calling.
John, it's so good to be here. And man, I'll tell you, we've got a 1930 Martin OM-45 Deluxe.
Okay.
This is one of 14 that Martin made in 1930 for the Sherman Clay Company out of Oakland, California.
Wow.
And what makes it a deluxe is they took an OM-45 and they added, you can see these inlays on the bridge and you can see the inlay in the pick guard. Those are the inlays that are different from a 45, meaning all the pearl all the way around. 30 had the banjo tuners on the back.
Yeah.
They made them through 33 where they went to traditional tuners, but this is one of 14. I hear there's like 9 of these that are known to exist.
Okay.
This is an all original example that's just killer.
It is beautiful. Man. And one of the few things around here older than me. I love that, man. I love that.
Way older than you.
Yeah, it actually is. I have to ask. Give me a ballpark of the value of this guitar. I hate to ask.
John, I've got this insured for $1 million. These are the Stradivari of guitar collecting.
Yes.
This era of Martin.
Yes.
And then this in particular, the OMs, the D45s.
Oh, D45s are.
Yeah. Those are the ones. And, when you find one that's a great example, we're talking wood that was like, 500 years old when they cut it.
Sure.
Then it kiln dried for 100 years.
Yes.
And Martin made these guitars in this era, and they didn't know it. They didn't know at the time they were making the greatest guitars in the history of the world.
Yes. Because
they were just on this path of making improvements. But, they had this wood. These were handmade, limited production, and, they're a feather. This guitar weighs like 3.5 pounds.
Light. Yes.
And that's kind of the thing with these. It's super light. OM stands for orchestra model.
Right.
And so by the time they got to about 44, they stopped scalloping braces. They beefed them up more to kind of get away from warranty or crack issues. Still great guitars, but these things were like glued together, thin, resonant, vibrant, and it's like a feather. And so, that's how they did it. And no one's really ever been able to replicate it.
I believe
it's dry. So yeah, it's a special thing.
Brazilian rosewood.
Brazilian rosewood back and sides.
Oh man, which you cannot get anymore.
No. You can find little bits here and there, but not that looks like this, because what they really prize is the straight grain.
Yeah.
And a lot of it now is very swirly, and I'm not saying that's bad.
Right.
I don't know if you can hear a difference, but it's rare. They outlawed the cutting of Brazilian in 1969.
Right. And the top is?
Adirondack spruce.
Okay. You want to play for a second? Just
let
us hear this thing.
Try and do a few different
It's
little
beautiful.
rings. Yeah.
Man.
Even though. But it's also a guitar that really is meant to probably do more of the... Let's see here. If I can remember it. Jim Croce.
You play 1,000 times better than I ever have, so that's good. I love the fact that you brought this by. Of course,
it's my pleasure.
I'm not going to be able to sleep at night unless I end up having one down here somehow, but we'll figure that out later.
Hey, you know where you need it. We just recorded it on Mitchell Tenpenny's record about 2 days ago.
Great.
So, yeah, it's on a couple of cuts. So.
Great. Well, you know what? When the time comes that we need that exact sound, I'm calling you, and you'll just have to visit us again, maybe.
You know where to find me.
Yeah,
That's what these are meant to do.
Yes.
I want them played. I want them used.
They
All
need
of
to
my
be.
guitars are played and used.
That's so important.
I own some famous guitars from rock history, and they actually go back out on tour with the artists that made them famous.
Oh, man.
We have that kind of relationship. So
That is
I'm all
great.
about it.
Well, nothing worse than people buying a 59 Les Paul and putting it in a vault somewhere. And that guitar was made to make music, and that's what they need to do. And, you know, all these guitars need that.
Let them sing.
Did Martin ever make fewer than 14 of any model?
So they made 91 D45s between 33, with the first being the Gene Autry guitar.
Right.
And then they finished them in 42. I'm going to say
91 total.
91 total. There's about 70 that are known.
Yeah.
3 of them are 12 fretters.
Wow.
So I have the second one that came after Gene Autry, which is the Jackie Kid Moore guitar, who was a childhood cowboy TV star.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 12 fretter. So it's kind of different. So there's 3 12-fret D45. So that's pretty rare.
Yeah.
And Gene Autry's, I think, was really like a prototype because it had a slotted headstock, and it didn't even say D45 on the neck block. It was like, it's the first one, but it was like prototypical.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But yeah, so those guitars are rare. I want to say there's, of all OM-45s, all years, probably 40. I mean, including the Deluxe. It's like 40, 42 maybe total.
Wow.
We don't know how many are in existence, but they're very rare. I have this guitar in a 33, just a regular OM-45 with the standard tuners. It's also a phenomenally well-sounding guitar.
How do they compare?
You know, it's interesting. That one guitar is actually slightly lighter,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's because of the banjo tuners are a little heavier.
Yeah.
But they're very similar. I think this one, to me, sounds a little warmer.
Mm-hmm.
That one seems to be a little brighter.
Well, the balance on this was pretty amazing. You know,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. Thanks, Matt. God, made my day. Anyway, I'm John. This is Matt, and you are inside Blackbird.